Let's go back to the phones. 458-TALK over here. Good evening. You're on the air.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks for everything you've done, Governor. My daughter and I, my oldest one, she's 15 now, went up for your swearing-in ceremony, and you made a big impact on her. But somebody asked me today, and I was on the phone placing an order in Michigan where the unemployment rate is way high, and before he could even place the order, they asked me my opinion, and I said, well, she believes in the Lord, she believes in her family, Second Amendment rights, and country. And, you know, whatever things you've done, I believe you've done that with your priorities. And I don't, you know, I'm just patting you on the back, but I know that there's a lot of folks out there that appreciate what you've done.
I thank you so much for that, and give your daughter a big hug for me, and tell your daughter, I don't want anybody to interpret the move that I just made to avoid the wasted time and wasted resources in a lame duck session. I don't want your daughter to interpret what I have just done as quitting. I want her to know that this is forward progress. It's not retreat. It's forward progress in a new direction, more freedom to fight for what is right. It's a decision that was made that kind of bucks some pressures and political correctness and politics as usual. I'm not cut out to play that game that a lot of politicians are. I want to have that freedom to do what's right for our state, and tell your daughter that.
I will, and you know, she's well aware of that, and the you know, we're happy to have examples like you out there. Thanks again.
Appreciate your call.
Thank you, sir.
458-TALK, talking with Governor Sarah Palin. Good evening.
Yes, Governor, your courage knows no bounds, and you are now the leader of the free world, while Obama is the destroyer of our freedoms. And going forward, we need to get closed primaries in each state so that Republican primaries, so we don't get a centrist candidate slipping in again. And the Libertarians need to be given an abacus, a calculator, and shown how to do math so that they don't hand all our victories to the Democrats again. And I commend you for choosing your media wisely and only going with and supporting those that treat you fairly. And going forward, just own your own media. Make commentary every time you can on how a God-fearing conservative would make real change. Appreciate you. Love you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right, we go ahead here. Good evening. You're on the air.
Oh, hey. I actually work with you, Michael.
Oh. Well,
Everlyn.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
We spoke earlier. Sarah Palin, I just wanted you to know that I support you in everything that you do. I think it's odd that people don't look back on Bob Dole in, say, '96 when he ran and dropped out of the government, his position that he had. Right. And so I actually brought that up on the air today. I'm the one who Twittered you, by the way. Oh. I think it's kind of, it's odd that, people hold you to different standards than they do to others.
And that seems to be a national problem. We got Sebelius. She left her governorship to join the Obama administration. Napolitano did the same thing.
Huntsman just left.
Yeah, I mean, we got all these things that are happening, and you don't see anybody going, what a quitter.
No.
Nobody makes a big deal out of it.
No, they don't say boo. You see that on the state level, too. Kim Elton left his quote-unquote.
Sure.
He left his constituents to go to D.C. You know why? It's accepted to go on to move into another political position, evidently.
Right.
But how about just being free to do what is right for your state and for your country? Evidently, that isn't as acceptable.
Well, and I think Ann Coulter wrote an article that basically said that you are now can go out and be the voice of conservatism in America, free again, like I said before, of the shackles of this looking over your shoulder. I mean, people said, somebody said on the show the other day, well, she should just, just ignore the stuff and just buckle down and do her work. And I'm thinking, if it costs me $25,000 every time somebody files a complaint, I'm looking over my shoulder every 5 minutes to make sure that I don't do something wrong. I mean, I'm becoming almost paranoid to make sure that I don't do that. It's got to be a tough gig to do that.
It's ridiculous. It's insanity. It is unfair to Alaskans that we spend so much of our day, our administration, just dealing with the frivolous lawsuits and ethics violation charges that are filed. And I could take the political shots. That I expect those. I invite those, especially constructive criticism is most helpful. But I expect all that, and I don't complain about it. But when it costs the state time and money, and regardless of what it costs Todd and me personally, that's an aside too. That's nobody else's problem. The problem is the millions of dollars and the thousands of hours that are spent on the frivolity, on the distractions on the periphery, because people have chosen to play this political blood sport. Now they get away with it because it doesn't cost them anything, but it costs residents of Alaska too much in time and resource, and I'm just not going to play their game anymore. I'll get out there on a different path and work for you guys.
Well, and you're, again, going back to being the fighter. You've got to be able to fight to do it, and this gives you the freedom to be able to step up and do exactly what it is that you need to do to make America better. And I think that's what it's
By the way, I have another example for you today. Another ethics violation charge was filed today by a guy in Anchorage, and he did a press release on it, so he violated the confidentiality or whatever, so I can talk about it. But he claims that I get paid for my interviews, and now I have to hire an attorney to get out there and prove that I don't. So, Michael, where is my pay? You gave me a glass of water. I'm supporting.
That's your water, actually. You gave me one. I'm supporting 7 people on one income, so I get you maybe 50 cents. I mean, we might be able to break that off for you. That's about it. All right, 458 Talk. 11 minutes to the top of the hour. Now we're taking your calls. Good evening. You're on the air.
Yes, I just got a comment for Sarah and a request. I'll support her in anything she does, more or less. And get Ted Nugent up here for a rock and roll show.
Wouldn't that be great? Michael, let's work on that.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to entice him with the machine gun stuff. You know, that's what's getting him good. So, yeah, the program director for X-Rock is outside going, yeah, the Nuge. All right, 458 Talk over here. Good evening. Hello?
Yeah, is that me?
That's you, sir. Go ahead.
All righty, I'm going to go off the side of the road here. I just wanted to thank Sarah Palin for all she stands for God and country and family.
Uh-huh.
And just never give up those values. Just keep plugging away. And, I know it had to be a very tough choice. We've lived in Fairbanks now for 17 years, and we've thought the world and all of you and what you've been plugging away at and our individual rights. And just keep up the good work. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that encouragement. I appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.